This is Devin Smith, and we are glad that you guys are back with us again. Um, so how you been, man?
Man, been good, man. It's good to be in person, man. Good to be in person. We over here. We in Alabama, man. We in Alabama. Us Georgia folk. They allowed us. To come in. They haven't kicked us out of Alabama yet.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
We glad to be here, man. Thanks for having us. We doing well.
Hey, I'm glad to have y'all. Here in the great state of Alabama.
Yeah.
And it's first time we've been together on camera since the election cast.
Yeah, that's right.
So since
That's
November.
Right. That was a good time, man.
It was.
That was a real good time.
It was.
Yeah, man.
But man, we're back, and we're gonna start off how we always start off, where I ask you, Devin, what are you drinking?
Well, tonight, folks, Matt, hey, Matt, how you doing? Future, thank you for being here, man. So listen, tonight is a really special night for me. It's a special night, people, because y'all know normally Kevin is showing me up, man. Normally, Kevin, his drink, just the level of artistry that these drinks have that Shalonda makes for him are just incredible. But because I'm in Kevin's house tonight, I actually have a drink by the world famous bartender Shalonda Briggins. So I have, I got to see if I can remember this correctly. This is kiwi coconut. It's got tequila in it. It's got triple sec. She didn't give it a name. I mean, I don't look at what is that on the edge, man? Look at that, man. It's got some salt, got some probably some sugar on there.
She did something with the kiwi, and so
oh my gosh, on the rim, y'all got to see that, man. I'm getting just some superstar treatment here. I could get used to this, man. I don't know. I might have to get Shalonda to ship me a drink every week. But man, that's what I'm drinking tonight. I'm feeling pretty good, man. How about you? What you got?
Yeah, so as usual, I'm way more fruity, so this is pineapple, coconut cream, and rum. So I went straight island, and so and so here we go, man.
Cheers,
man.
To the fourth. To the good old U.S. of A.
Yep. So
man,
happy pre-Independence Day.
Yeah, that's right. This is maybe I should have called it the Independence Day pregame. Maybe that's what I should have called it. Oh, we got a guest. We got a guest.
All right.
Here we got
so,
Ash.
The door to my office is French doors, and they just close with a magnet. And he has recently found that he can just push the door open. And he constantly comes in when I'm recording now. The bartender just came and got him and took him away. But yeah.
Mr. Logan, thanks for being here.
Yeah. So we're not gonna go long tonight. We just want to do something since we were in person, and just kind of just do like a freestyle Q&A type episode. It's been an interesting week in politics.
It has. It has.
Yeah, the big beautiful legislation passed.
I was about to say you got to give it the right name. You got to say it right.
Yeah.
You got to say it right.
Yes, they passed the BBL.
They did.
And JD Vance was the deciding vote. So it barely passed.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Of course, the other problem now, you know what Trump's going to do. He's going to look for every single Republican who did not vote yes, and he's going to try to primary them.
Absolutely.
That's what he's going to do.
Absolutely. So we're now at a point where you have a battle between Trump and Elon.
Yeah, that's right. Because Elon has not been quiet. He's not been quiet about this.
Yeah.
I mean, he on the opposite side, he has said he is going to donate. He's going to try to primary every Republican who voted yes. He's trying to primary him. Now, listen, that's clearly not going to work because too many Republicans voted yes. Clearly not going to work. But he may do some damage. He may do some damage. Now, I don't think that he's going to go and push Democrats, of course, because that's going to push in the direction he doesn't want to go. He wants to get real, actual fiscal hawks. So he is supporting Thomas Massey.
Yeah,
he's because Trump went after Thomas Massey big time on the news, on True Social, going after Thomas Massey, saying he's a lowlife, he never accomplishes anything, he's a grandstander. And listen, I'm not gonna say that every now and again old Tom Massey doesn't enjoy him a little grandstand. Okay, I'm not gonna say he doesn't enjoy him a little grandstand every now and again.
Who doesn't?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys a little grandstand. But here's the problem. Thomas Massey's right. This is you aptly name this the BBL because this is some big booty legislation. Okay, this junk is full of pork. It's full of fat. Big booty legislation, man. Listen, I'm telling you that I'm with Elon. Is spending too much dang money. Y'all talking all the cutting budgets and trying to save and eliminate the deficit, all that talk, and then y'all pass the BBL, man. Come on.
I just can't believe you're not loyal. I can't believe you would just turn your back on MAGA like that after all President Trump has done for this country. Man.
You know, I will say, he's got some wins. I got to give the man credit where it's due. He's got some wins.
He does have some wins.
But y'all know I wasn't MAGA. I ain't MAGA. If I don't know what I don't know what they want to call me. If I was in the House, I would absolutely be on the Freedom Caucus, like without question.
Yeah.
He would hate me if I was in Congress because I would be with Thomas Massey. If I was in the Senate, me and Rand Paul would be pretty good buddies. We wouldn't agree on everything.
Yeah.
But the fiscal stuff, man, Festivus, come on.
Man, Trump would be tweeting about you. He would be talking on Truth Social about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what he said about Thomas Massey, like, oh, he's never voted yes on anything. He votes no on everything. And I'm like, well, does the government need to get bigger or smaller? It seems like everything that you would vote yes on is making the government bigger. So it's probably going to vote no on most of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I've listened to some other viewpoints on the BBL. And basically what Trump is banking on is growth. You know, he's just banking on growth.
He is.
That is how he plans to reduce the deficit is through extreme growth. And it's like he's so confident that his stuff is going to work and the economy is going to boom and we're going to have this surplus. But man, that's rolling the dice.
It is. It is rolling the dice. And I'm not comfortable with us saying we're gonna spend all this money that we don't have to spend, right? Like the whole Trump account thing.
Yes.
It's an ego play, man.
It is.
It's an ego play.
It is.
We don't have to spend $1,000 for every baby that's born between, 2024 and 2028. We don't have to.
It's one of those things. No one asked for that.
Yeah.
No one voted for that. No, he didn't run on that. No one asked for that.
No.
It's like a good fairy idea, and all of a sudden we're doing it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Matt. That drink hitting, but it's not hitting because of the alcohol. It's hitting because I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy to be on the same level as Kev tonight, man. I get to be on the same level, man. For once, man, I'm right. For once, I'm riding. Feel like I'm with the top down too. I'm riding with the top down. Every now and again, it hurts a man's pride when you drinking like some IPA out the fridge, and Kev over here got daggone pineapple leaves coming up out his drink.
The only thing is, no, I didn't have a friend harvest the kiwis from the foothills of the Mayan.
That's all I got. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. I got stories about where the drink came from. Because all I do is pour it out the bottle. There ain't no artistry. I just pour it out the bottle.
That's right, man. There's a story behind it.
That's right.
There's
That's right.
Story.
That's what I got.
You know.
Man. So I mean, basically tonight, the whole idea is, all of you that are hanging with us that are watching, you guys get to decide what we talk about tonight. So you bring it up in the comments, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So there was one thing though, because remember I posted this on Facebook, and someone wrote a comment on there with a question.
That's right. That's
And
right.
It was Brad Cone, and he wanted to know: do we believe that the Revolutionary War was a just war, right? So from a biblical, from a Christian perspective, were they right to go to war with the King of England? I had never thought of this question until someone asked me this question in sometime around 2017, 2018, and I was stumped. I was like, I never really thought about it because it's just something we celebrate. I never thought about were they have a legit right to go to war over something. And as I looked into it and I thought about it, I really came to the conclusion that no, they really, and from my opinion, they really didn't. Like if there was some country today and there was these group of Christians that were rising up against their government to go to war, and we say, what are they going to war for? Taxation without representation. I wouldn't be like, go fight.
Listen, I've said many times when we've watched some of these things that happen, like the BBL, the BBL maybe not, but there's some other things that have happened, like the ACA.
Yeah.
Listen, they got the muskets out. They got the muskets out for stuff back in the day. Okay.
Yeah, they did.
The muskets might have come out for that.
And it might have, but I do think it is at best questionable. I know you have a different perspective because you've kind of taken a different angle on it.
Yeah.
Other than the taxation without representation.
Yeah.
For which you feel they might have been justified in some way.
And so for this, I need my pipe. If you're gonna talk about Revolutionary War stuff, you can't talk about the stuff without a pipe in your mouth.
That is true.
So essentially, once I started to dig into and to really get taught more about the time period and what was going on and the real causes behind the war, because the way that it's told is just like, oh, America is just this rebel nation, and they rose up against them and all that stuff, and the reality of it is not quite that. So there was a period of time where they were trying to get the King of England to basically acknowledge, like, hey, there is real production happening here, but we're getting taxed. We're producing wealth, but we're getting taxed without any kind of representation. That's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it that that is part of the reason the Pilgrims wound up over here is because they wanted they wanted to get away from the fact that the Church of England was really run by the King of England.
Yeah.
And so the Pilgrims wanted to come back to come over here, not come back, but come over here to be able to worship the Lord in the way that they thought was right, and was essentially going up against the edict of the king in England. And time obviously passed between the time of the Pilgrims coming over on the Mayflower and the Revolutionary War, and a lot of the discourse that was happening. One of the things that was happening was you had a lot of ministers in the United States who were pointing out how the King of England had really stepped out of bounds. And so not only was the King of England out of bounds in his attempt to dictate what the church did, but he was out of bounds in how he was treating his subjects. And so their contention with him was, you're claiming that you are a leader of a Christian nation, you are a Christian leader, here's where you're breaking the scriptures. Here's where you're violating God's commands in scripture about how you are supposed to govern. And essentially the who is supposed to be dictating what happens in the church, which is the clergy, not the government ruler, not the civil magistrate, as we call it in the WCF.
So you're saying separation of church and state is what you're trying to say. To a degree.
To a degree.
Not the way it's interpreted today.
Right.
But
right.
in the fact that the king doesn't have oversight over the church.
Right. And that's really that was one of the problems, is that and the whole idea of separation of church and state came around, and it's not in the Constitution. It is not it's not actual law. When a lot of people talk about it, it's the whole separation of church and state thing is mostly a jurisprudence thing that came out of a Supreme Court ruling that a lot of people acknowledge. I think even Ruth Bader Ginsburg acknowledged that it was bad jurisprudence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, no, they weren't justified. Okay, I got you. I agree.
So let me continue here. So basically, that their position was that he had, if he is going to say, we are a Christian nation, he has stepped out of bounds. And they appealed to him multiple times, and he didn't, he basically wouldn't give any ground, and they were appealing to him according to the scriptures. And the ministers, he actually at one point called the rising sort of attitude towards England and the idea of separating from England, he called it, pardon my French here, but he called it that damn Presbyterian rebellion. That's what he called it, because it was largely driven by the ministers calling him out.
Now it's coming out. Yeah. Your Presbyterianism is okay. I see.
But that's what he called it. And now back then, him saying Presbyterian didn't necessarily mean exactly the same thing. Presbyterianism was kind of just, it was viewed as a way of running the church that was definitely different than the Church of England. But there was the.
But even if that was the case, I would still say they did not have a biblical reason to go to war. And when I mean go to war, I'm talking about to take the lives of other Christians.
So here's where I'll contend. Because I looked at it from two angles. I looked at it from, okay, hey Victoria, we're glad to be here. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. I looked at it from the angle of, well, the colonies were the property of England. What right do the colonies have to try to separate themselves? They're trying to take the property of the King of England, essentially. I looked at it from that angle. However, when you look at it in terms of, if you look at how King Ahab and Naboth, right? King Ahab wanted Naboth's vineyard, and this whole idea that everything that is in the kingdom belongs to the king is foreign in the scriptures. That is not how the Lord looks at a king.
We're not going to disagree on that. That does not mean you go to war and kill other Christians over it.
So I'm getting to that part.
All right, well, let's speed it up because I know we got some more questions.
Sorry. Okay, so here's where I'm landing. They were not fighting a war of aggression. They were fighting a war of self-defense. They were saying, hey, look, you're out of bounds. We have determined that you are not ruling according to the way that God would have a nation ruled. We want our independence. Let us go. And the King of England said, no, catch me outside. How about that? So they didn't go across the water and attack England. They said, there will not be a shot fired or anything like that. Let us go free. And the King of England said no. And so they essentially fought a war of self-defense. And that's part of the problem with the way that it's talked about, because it makes it sound like we just decided to pick up the guns and just start shooting because we was getting taxed. And it was like, hey, you're out of bounds. Let us go free. And he was like, no, catch these hands. And so we squared up, you know. And so I think that it was justified in the sense that it was not a war of aggression. It was a war of self-defense. That's my position.
Okay. All right. I want to know in the chat what people
Yeah.
think.
What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Future said that the kiwi in the drink is slowing me down. I'm on island time. I'm on island time because of the kiwi. Man. So y'all tell us what you think in the chat. We got another question up here from Matt. Okay, so got a ministry question. What balance should a pastor take in speaking on political issues when they intersect with Christian morality? Should a minister abstain from talking about politics from the pulpit? Oh man, I'm gonna let the honorable Elder Briggins give the first answer on this.
I would say I don't believe pastors should adjust their preaching schedule around political issues. I will say that. Now, there are times where there's something so big in the nation, you can't get up there on a Sunday and not say something about it. So sometimes that will happen. But I don't think politics should be the driver of what is preached on Sunday. With that said,
yeah,
if a church or a pastor is not discipling their people in those issues, someone else is. And so the church can't be solid. And so I don't have anything against a sermon here and there on those issues when they intersect with Christian morality, because when everybody in the congregation is having the same question or is wondering about the same thing, but then there's silence, and so they turn to Fox News or they turn to MSNBC for their guidance, that's going to be a problem. And so I think there are times where you have to, but it should not dictate. If someone's getting up there every Sunday and preaching Fox News or preaching some political thing or mentioning Trump every Sunday or the Democrats, whatever, then no, that's pretty bad. But there are times when it comes up, or if you are coming through, if you're preaching expositionally through the scriptures, right? And you get to a scripture that is relevant to something that is political in the culture, I would not shy away from mentioning or bringing it up, because it is the scriptures that are driving you to that application point, right? And so that is what I would say about that one.
That's good, man. I mean, I 100% agree with that, basically. And I think that you made a really big point there. And the two things, we should not be changing. Don't change your preaching plan to try to preach politics unless it's just something huge that has to be addressed, right?
Yeah.
Continue to do expository preaching. However, you're absolutely right. If you're not helping the culture apply the scriptures to their political philosophy, somebody else is going to show them something else. And it's probably not going to be the scriptures. And every now and again, you have a Democrat be like, "Oh, well, Jesus said this and Jesus said that." They try to use it to justify socialism.
Yeah. Oh man, that was on Twitter this week.
Lord of mercy.
That was a big thing on Twitter, because with the what's going on in New York with them about to basically elect us. He calls himself a democratic socialist. He's a communist.
Yeah, he's a communist.
And so that was his question on Twitter or X. Or why is it that when basically Jesus talks about taking care of the poor is Christian, but when the Democrats do it, it's socialism or whatever.
Right.
And it was like, because Jesus didn't take stuff from other people to feed the poor. He used his own resources.
I mean, that one of the greatest things I was ever taught on this, because I didn't know how to answer that stuff.
Yeah.
When people would come to me with that, I didn't know how to answer that. My mentor, he said, pay attention to the Good Samaritan. Pay attention to the Good Samaritan. Where did he get the money to pay the innkeeper to take care of the dude that he found on the side of the road? Came out of his own pocket.
Yep.
He didn't say, "Hey, everybody who's passing by, all y'all, give me $5. Each and every one of y'all, give me $5." He didn't do that. He came out of his own pocket, and that was, to me, it was just Man, it's so
Yeah,
simple, so obvious.
it's
Why didn't I think of
so
that way?
easy to be self-righteous with other people's money. It
It's
really
real
is.
easy. Real easy. Yeah. But
Uh,
there was another instance where Ron Paul, when he was in Congress, similar situation. They wanted to put up a statue. I can't remember if they wanted to put up a statue to Rosa Parks. It might have been Rosa Parks. I can't remember. And they were voting about the government funding it. And he voted no. And he gave a speech about why he voted no. He's like, hey, look, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a statue. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be funded by the government, but I'll come out my own pocket for it. And he reached out in his pocket and pulled out some money and said, "Who's with me? If y'all really, really, really want this statue, who's with me? I'll come out my own pocket to pay for the statue." That's when you find out who really believes in something or not.
yeah,
You know,
it's like in California, I was talking about the price of homes and the homelessness problem and all those types of things. But the issue with California and housing is the what we call the "not in my backyard" syndrome, where everybody believes that something needs to be done, but when the solution comes up about building more houses or building like multifamily housing, they all run down to the city council to block it from happening because nobody wants it in their backyard, and so it just doesn't happen. And so uh, it's easy, like you say, to be virtuous and the virtue signaler about something, but then when it might cost you something out of your own pocket, what are you willing to do? And so often we see that people aren't willing to put their own money where their mouth is. You know, yeah, they just want to. Like I say, it's so easy to be virtuous because you voted for the government to take money from other people and go help the poor when you won't even take your own money and go down and help poor people you walk by. Like,
that's right.
so,
That's right. Uh, the question always needs to be asked. Milton Friedman asked, "Where are you going to find? You think that these people out here, because they always argue, well, if we just make it to where people give freely, then nobody's going to give." It's like, oh, well, then why? What? So nobody's going to give to it, and you think that all the virtuous people are the ones in government who are going to take it? He's like, where are all these angels in the government who are going to manage all this that are so much better than all these people out here?
Yep. Yeah.
Where are they at?
Yeah. Because think about it, I mean, how many people come out of their pocket for GoFundMe? When someone is in need of help, how many people come to it and donate?
Right.
All the time.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need the government.
No, you don't. But they want you. There are a lot of people who want you to think that. I see some folks in the comments saying that the mics are a little quiet. I did just try to adjust it. So let me know if what I just did helped at all. These are some new mics, some new wireless mics that I got.
Literally, we just got back from Best Buy picking up these mics.
Straight up.
I can yell too.
Yeah, I can get loud if y'all need me to get louder. Trap, that's my cousin right there. Trap the Don. Thanks for being here. He says he tells his congregation every Sunday, vote Republican, pay your tithes, and go home. Don't ask questions. See y'all next week. Lord have mercy.
I can't argue with that. I mean, he's not wrong.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You got people in the comments laughing here. Hey, appreciate you, Zog. Neutral Coach, thanks for being here. Man, all right.
Y'all also should know
up?
that normally we run this show on big computers with big monitors and stuff.
Yeah.
We're on a laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. So we leaning forward. We had to leave old 40-something-year-old eyes having to look at these comments. But all right. So it sounds like sounds better.
Shout out to the Fluffy Duck.
Yeah. Appreciate it. And we got producer Liam. Producer Liam's in the audience. Appreciate you, man. He said, if only there was a producer there to turn up the mics.
On the laptop.
Yeah, he sees us over here struggling, man. Y'all know we appreciate Liam. We do. We appreciate Liam, man. So that was a good that's a good point there. We need preachers to be ready to talk about political things in the proper context, because you don't want the world showing them how to deal with these issues. You don't.
Yeah. And I will say, if I'm put a plug in, if you are a pastor or have a church and don't know how to address sensitive topics like race and culture to your church, then reach out to the Center for Biblical Unity, and we will gladly come and walk your church through various programs throughout a biblical worldview to help them remember to keep first things first. So
yeah, I can't speak highly enough of CFBU. As y'all know, Kev is now managing director, and so he's working with Krista and Monique, and just love the work that they're doing. And it's they take shots, man. They take arrows for the stuff that they say. But I appreciate y'all being willing to say it. Yeah. I stand with y'all, man.
I appreciate it. We had a consulting call with a large Christian organization that is having some issues, and we basically flat out told them, "Are y'all really, really ready for us to come in and say the things that we're gonna say? Because are you ready to lose people? Because that might happen.
Yeah,
you know." And we like, that's fine. We just want to make sure that you know what to expect if we come in, because truth divides.
Yep.
It doesn't always unite.
Didn't come to bring peace but a sword.
Yeah. Now we're gonna say it in a very gentle and loving way, but some people still might just get mad and walk away.
That's right. Yeah. No, I mean that I saw it in my own church. During the 2020 stuff, people wanted to have some discussions around racial reconciliation, and eventually, when the pastors decided like, oh, okay, this is we've done this enough. This is our position on this stuff. We had some people leave.
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, it happens.
Hey, Misha, saw you in the chat, man. Thanks for being here, man. Misha's a good buddy of mine in Atlanta. That guy escaped the Soviet Union.
Whoa.
Has no delusions about what socialism does to a country. Love talking to that guy. I was playing golf with him when I jacked my wrist up. He's a great guy.
Hello. You mean when you were drinking those White Claws?
When I was drinking that White Claws. It might have been the White Claws that messed my wrist up, man. It might have been the claws. Man, y'all got to be careful drinking the claws out there, man. They can tear you up.
Oh, someone asked a very important question. Cereal first or milk first?
Cereal.
See, that's where we're going to divide.
Oh no!
So I have to explain, because people say, "Why would you put the milk first?" So I don't like milk, or just the taste of milk.
Mm-hmm.
So when I put milk in, I'm gonna put a spoon or two of sugar. I have to fix my milk first and get my milk right before I can put my cereal in.
Kev, man, what don't you put sugar in, man?
Grits.
Okay, all right, okay. We were about to fight, bro.
Yeah.
We was about to fight. If you put sugar in grits, we was gonna fight, bro.
Nah. Okay. Whoever doing that need to repent.
Okay, we can still be cool. Yeah,
I put that on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, you put sugar in grits, you need to be on church discipline.
Yeah,
church discipline.
Or you got to move up north.
Yep. Don't do that, man.
Can't be in the South. First of all, if you're in the North, don't y'all eat cream of wheat?
I mean, that's right.
So no one should be putting sugar in grits.
None whatsoever.
All right,
no sugar in grits.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Matt says sugar in milk, but not in the grits. Definitely not, bro.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Nah. That's just a Southern rule, man. Grits are savory. They are for salt.
Yes.
Pepper if you want.
You can put some cream in there. You can cook them in cream instead of water, but no sugar in that.
Yeah, they're gonna be savory. Sugar. It's got to be salt, cheese.
Yeah.
Some shrimp.
Yeah.
Some bacon.
Put some garlic in that junk, man.
Sugar's for oatmeal.
That's right.
We're not putting sugar in the grits.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. Just eat cream of wheat, man. Don't eat, if you're gonna put sugar in it, don't put it in grits, man. I'm pretty sure that like
I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for less. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying. Amen. I'm pretty sure that if you do that, the Santa of the South, Colonel Sanders, will come out of nowhere, and he will take the bowl and he will break it on the floor, man, and curse all you grits. He'll curse you grits. Man. Oh man. Okay. Great question from A. Rogers. How did we meet and decide to start working together? That's a good story.
Yeah, it is. So I went to Atlanta to Podium Studios, which I didn't know anything about at the time, to record a live stream with Dear Woke Christian, April Chapman, Rick Caldwell,
Yep.
and Keena. And so we went to the studio, recorded this live stream. It was really good. And Devin was the producer. And him and his wife were sitting there, and they knew me from Off Code. And they just said, hey, just want to let you know, hey, we watch Off Code. We really love what you do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, And then we connected social media wise.
And you put me in the Facebook group.
Yeah, I put you in the Informed Text Facebook group.
Yep.
And then I could just tell from the way we talked and communicated. And I would also do like election night. Or debate nights. I would do live streams, where we would get together and watch the debate together and talk and stuff. And I just knew that I was like, I think we could work together good. And so I was retiring from the military. I knew I wanted to do something political now that I could speak more on like geopolitical things and events. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. How would you like to, do the show with me? Now, I had no idea Devin owned the studio. I didn't. I had no idea that he was the mastermind and the tech whiz behind all this stuff. I just knew, okay, we're like-minded. He's good behind a mic, and I think it can work well. And he talked to his wife.
Yep. Had to get approval.
And you can tell about that part of it.
Yeah.
But once he got the green light, he was like, yo, let's do it. And so we did. And here we are,
Yeah, man. What is this? We started it
November. Right before the election.
I think we started it in did we have like a couple episodes before the election?
We had one.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was like, how do we get here?
That's right. Yeah, it was.
We had like one episode before the election.
Yeah, that's right. It was. We did start in November. Yeah, and Kev drove up for that. But yeah, so my whole thing is, my wife is not as much of a political junkie as I am, right? And I tend to joke with people. Back in the day, I would joke with people back when I was a Ted Cruz guy. Before I knew a little bit more about what Ted Cruz is really like. I was a hardcore Ted Cruz guy. 2016, I wanted him to win.
Hey, there were a lot of Ted Cruz fans in 2016, so you're not alone.
I was a Ted Cruz guy, but my joke is that Ted Cruz is to the left of me. Ted Cruz is to the left of me. He's not hardcore enough, And so, my wife doesn't feel as strongly about the issue. And back in the day when I was cage stage, I could I love to throw hands, politically debating people. I debate you on theology. I debate you on politics. I was ready to go. And so she just wanted to know that I wasn't going to do a show where what I was doing was throwing hands all the time. She did not want that. She didn't want that to be, what I was known for was throwing hands. I've chilled out a lot over the years, believe it or not. I've chilled out a lot, and she appreciated that Kevin. Kevin's idea around it was we want to give an honest look at the arguments of each side.
Yeah.
We don't want to misrepresent an argument. We don't want to create straw man arguments. And we're not saying that we'll never do that, right? We're fallible human beings, right? We may wind up doing that. Y'all correct us if we mess that up, right? But she really appreciated that we did want to endeavor to be honest about both sides and to call balls and strikes. And y'all know, we up here, if we think the right does something right, that's our team. If they do something wrong, we're going to yell at our team.
Yeah.
And
she also appreciated how we handle off code and the way we handle issues, and she just felt like this arena, I could keep Devin from throwing hands so much.
That was my thing. I was like, I'm gonna convert everybody to Republican by throwing hands. That's how I'm gonna do it. I for some reason I thought it was gonna work. It didn't work. It didn't work. Oh man. So yeah, that's how we wound up. That's how we wound up working together. We had another question in there. Who's your favorite U.S. president? Who asked that? I think it was Claire asked that one. Who is your favorite U.S. president?
Man, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you got G Dub was first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was very humble because
Mm-hmm.
he did not want to be a king.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Lincoln did some pretty good things, kind
Yep.
of like freeing the slaves.
Yep.
That was good.
Little kind of,
Yeah. And of course, being on the right, you're always like, oh man, Reagan's the
Reagan.
standard. But you look back on, there's some things Reagan did that wasn't the greatest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's. I guess I will say Reagan just because how he handled the Cold War
Yeah.
and defeating the Soviets the way he did with a certain amount of strength. And then just how popular he was, man. The two elections he won were ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, landslide. Landslide.
And then enough to where Bush won, who was his vice president, won easily in '88.
Yep.
And so they basically had a 12-year run until Clinton played the saxophone and defeated him.
Yep.
He played that saxophone on Arsenio Hall, and that was it.
Yeah, it was over with after that. It was afterward.
But outside of just an obvious good choice, I'll say Reagan just because of, to me, what it meant to defeat the Soviets in the Cold War, bringing down the Berlin Wall and all of that.
And it's just an amazing communicator. You still look at clips to this day of this dude, his sense of humor, the way he was able to communicate conservative principles. I mean, I just wish that we could have another president, or really just Republican leader, period, who could communicate like him.
Yes. His 1964 speech, A Time of Choosing, was very, very powerful. Because that's when he was switching over from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party. And if you listen to the issues he's bringing up at that time, it's so relevant even today. And he was like, man, you gotta choose which way we're going. And really it was that the leftward progressive socialist drift of the Democrat Party by that time in '64. And so he spoke at I think it was the RNC convention.
His mind would be blown by the state of things today.
Yeah.
His mind would be blown.
Yeah.
If he thought that they left him back then, that the Democrats left him back then, he'd be like, I don't even recognize that party now.
Yeah. And this is before he was a governor in California. He became governor of California as a Republican. But yeah, he was a Democrat at one point.
Yeah.
Up till '64. But he saw the direction they were headed, even with something as the Civil Rights Act, which I just had a hot take on that on Off Code. You haven't seen the latest Off Code?
I actually haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward. I know your opinion on it, but I still want to hear it.
The point of the episode was, should the Civil Rights Act be repealed? The questions that were raised at that time about the Civil Rights Act wasn't about should blacks have equal rights. That wasn't the question.
Yeah.
The question was the constitutionality of the Civil Rights Act. And there were people who felt it was unconstitutional. I look at it today, I feel it's unconstitutional.
I agree.
But yeah, they were willing to take a stand on that stuff back then and risk being called racist and all this type of stuff. But they made very clear, even what was his name who ran for president?
Goldwater.
Yeah, Barry Goldwater made it very clear. Like, look, I don't oppose it on moral grounds. Morally, I'm for it. But the way y'all are going about doing this thing, you're unconstitutional in it. And so, but that fell on deaf ears.
It did.
And here we are today.
Yeah. And Goldwater eventually said he regretted opposing it, but he was right. Goldwater was right.
Yeah. And he wasn't he wasn't a Republican either. He was a libertarian. Well, I said he wasn't a conservative, I should say. He was a libertarian from Arizona. So this wasn't somebody from the deep South. This wasn't. Yeah. No, he was just a libertarian based on the Constitution. He was like, this isn't legal.
He understood that it was overreach. He understood how dangerous it was.
Yep.
And you see that with the cake baker. The Civil Rights Act is why he can get sued for not wanting to make a cake for a gay wedding. That's why. And Barry Goldwater saw that was a possibility.
Yep.
But it fell on deaf ears.
Yep. And Reagan saw it too. And that's why he switched parties.
Yeah. And so a little piece of history for y'all there. My favorite president, before we move on to the next question here.
FDR. I knew it, man. You like that big government, social safety net.
Say FDR one more time. The Great Society. My favorite president is G Dub, man, George Washington, man. And here's why. You mentioned one of the reasons why. And the more that I learned about him, just the stature of the man.
Yeah.
That that he fought that war, and the way that he led those men.
Yeah.
There's a story, and some may say it's a apocryphal. I believe it based on everything else I heard. That there was a night that he there were some men that were supposed to be men in the colonial army were supposed to be building something, and it was cold out there. It was wet, and there was an officer who was just kind of overseeing the soldiers putting it together, and man on a horse rode up, saw the soldiers out there working, got off the horse, went and helped. When he was done, walked up to the officer, and it turns out it was George Washington. And so now his uniform has got mud all over it, and he's like, "Don't let me ever see you out here again watching those soldiers work and you not get down there and be too good to get your uniform muddy."
Yep. Lead by example.
Some of the battle stories of how this dude led in battle, just incredible. I mean, the level of grit. Fighting on a horse in the frozen woods. Him choosing to lay down the sword when they won. There were a lot of people that were waiting with bated breath, as you mentioned, to see, because the common thing is that the general who gets the victory in a war for independence against another nation, or a war against another nation, it's expected that they're going to fill the power vacuum with themselves, that they are going to choose to make themselves the ruler. And his choice was to go back to Congress and to take his sword and to lay it down and hand power back to them. And in my opinion, that made him worthy of being the first president. It was just an uncommon thing. He was a Christian man. And the last thing that really set him a cut above, if all the other stuff wasn't enough, was that when he understood that slavery was wrong. There's a book out there. There's a book called No Property in Man. I'm reading through. I highly recommend the book. That talks about really the disagreement about slavery that was happening even at the time of the framing of the Constitution.
Yeah.
A lot of people misunderstand the 3/5 compromise.
Don't even get me started.
Oh yeah, they do not understand. I was taught wrong coming up, but the 3/5 compromise was because they were stopping the South from basically deciding every election going forward by counting all the slaves as votes, and so and counting them in their representation in Congress, but. He knew that slavery was wrong, and so when he was dying, he put it in his will that once his wife passed, all the slaves would go free. When he passed, his wife kind of made a pragmatic decision. She was like, "Hey, I'm not going to be the only thing standing between these slaves and freedom, because I don't want them to decide to rise up against me. So I'm going to free them now."
Yeah.
But the fact that he knew it was wrong then and chose to free his slaves then just speaks to the stature of the man to live in the time that he lived and still see past the culture. Yeah. Because slavery was normal in the world at that time. Slavery was not this abnormal thing that we all, the way we think about it was not thought that way at the time. And so for him to see that, it just really speaks to me that was a man who truly knew the Lord.
Yeah. And I would say this too, to that point. Only in the Christian West,
yes,
was the idea of slavery being wrong even a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And it was Britain actually who led the charge on eradicating it throughout their empire, and we kind of came second in getting rid of it in our country. But Yeah, I mean that's what he's my favorite president, man. It's going to be really really hard to top that. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that, and I'll say this too to that generation because you said he led those men. They were men,
Yes.
but man, they were young.
They were young.
They were so young, but yet they were so wise.
So wise, man. And so
smart, discerning, wise, and they were young.
Yeah.
And to see, I don't know, to see men today in their 20s versus what those men were in their 20s, man, we've
fallen far from the tree.
Good times make weak men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we have been made to be weak.
Yeah, we saw. I look at those guys were in their 20s and they were writing things like the Constitution.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were the rationale that they gave behind why they wanted their independence, the eloquence, the depth of thought,
the Federalist Papers, everything Jefferson wrote, like, it was like, man.
I don't know about you, but in my 20s I wasn't talking like that. I wasn't thinking like that.
No.
I wasn't handling anything of that level of import.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And so it's so I like that answer.
Yeah, that's a good one. So next we got Zogzilla. Zogzilla, you asking spaghetti or Alfredo? All right, Kev. What's the word?
I ain't know we were getting with the hard question.
This is hard. This is a hard one, man. This is a hard one.
Man.
I'd rather answer the just war question versus this one.
I know, right? I'm gonna go Alfredo.
Okay. All right. You got to give the rationale, brother.
Nothing against spaghetti. But I was just thinking, okay, if I'm at Olive Garden, right, and I'm looking at the menu, what am I ordering? I'm probably gonna order the shrimp Alfredo.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just over the spaghetti.
Of course. You can do spaghetti at home, bro.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a different level, you know. Once you get to that white sauce, it just hits a little different. It's like white sauce. Like it's like you stepping up from spaghetti and lasagna.
Put the pinky up.
Yeah, you put the pinky up. You know, you go on a date. You know, take a girl to Olive Garden, get that shrimp Alfredo.
Shrimp Alfredo, man.
Yeah.
Put the Parmesan.
Yeah. Say when.
Yeah. I'm not saying y'all gonna run out of cheese. You gonna have to stop. I love doing that to them. I don't say when.
Yeah.
Don't give that decision to me. So as sugar is for you, cheese is for me.
Yeah, I'm a cheese guy too. I'm fruity and cheesy.
Can't say that, man.
Not Wayne Brady fruity,
bro. Okay, we do have to talk about that in a minute. We got to talk because I didn't know he went. Yeah, I didn't know he went full on. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that in a second. But I'm also Alfredo. But here's why I'm Alfredo.
Okay.
Because I learned how to make my own Alfredo sauce.
Man.
And let me tell you something. When you learn how to make your own Alfredo sauce, and you stop eating the stuff that comes out the store in the jar,
change your life.
You understand what Alfredo sauce is really supposed to taste like. It's just different. It just hits different, man.
Yeah.
It hits different.
Yeah.
It is one of the things that is so coveted in our household. When we say we're having Alfredo, the question gets asked, are we making the sauce or are we buying the sauce from the store? And the level of excitement is different. Because if they know that I'm making the sauce, they're like, oh, snap, we have an Alfredo. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, so that's my answer there. Good, great question. Y'all got to stop asking hard questions like that. Spaghetti Alfredo, man. Come on now. Yeah, y'all really putting a squeeze on us now. Let's see what we got. Is Kevin supposed to be the good influence? It depends on what it is. If it comes to sugar, heck no. I mean, no. Kevin is not the good influence on sugar. We got to try to keep Kevin alive, okay, y'all? Kevin is determined to lose some of his toes. He is determined to lose them toes. How many toes that drink costing you?
It's not that bad. I mean, it's a typical pina colada.
Okay. You know? Okay. All right. So your wife wants you to live. Yeah. She wants you to live. We all want you to live, Kev. The audience wants you to live. Lord of mercy, man. Because he put sugar in everything. He put sugar in his dang milk before he poured cereal, guys.
I don't like milk.
We need to have an intervention. Need to have an intervention.
I'm a bit of a food racist.
Which president has the most aura? For me, it's George Washington. The aura can't get bigger than that. But Reagan's, Reagan was a beast. Reagan was a beast. Lincoln was a beast too.
Oh, man. Let's try to be fair and honest.
Okay.
Because you're naming all Republicans.
Okay.
Obama had some aura to him. So did Clinton.
Clinton definitely had aura. Obama had aura. He had swag. Obama had swag. Obama had mad swag. I'm not gonna take it from him. Not gonna take it from him. Man, what I'm gonna say is, I hope this don't get us tanked in the algorithm. But see, Obama lost some aura for me when he lit up the White House with the rainbow flag. Aura was lost.
I thought you were gonna say when he wore that brown suit.
Oh no, I would sweat the brown suit, man. Everybody was like, "Oh man, he's the Antichrist. He wore the brown suit." I'm like, bro, brother wore a tan suit, man. Come on, man. Like,
yeah,
it ain't the end of the world. I mean, I didn't like the suit. I didn't like it, but I didn't think that he committed a cardinal sin. You had Republicans on Fox News talking about, "Oh, can't you believe he wore a tan suit?" It's like, guys, nobody's gonna take us seriously ever again. Can we not act like adults right now? He wore a tan suit. We're gonna get.
I'm gonna be honest though. It did look weird.
Yeah.
Not that a tan suit is weird, but for the president.
For the president,
we had never seen. It's like, something looks wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I had never thought about it until we saw it. It's like
nobody ever did it. No. And I guess they got somebody behind the scenes telling them like, "No, sir, you can't put that suit on. You can't do it." And Barack Obama, with all his swag, he was like, "Wait, tell me what." Yeah, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them. Watch how I put the swag on it. I mean, it wasn't hitting though. The suit wasn't hitting. It wasn't. I mean,
I didn't think the suit was bad. I thought he looked good. It just did seem weird. You see the president come up, and in your mind, I didn't realize I had a certain view of the president in terms of suit color.
Yeah.
Until I saw something different. I'm like, that's wrong. That is wrong.
I think you're right. I think I got a bias towards the president wearing a darker colored suit. I could see the president wearing a lighter colored suit on a beach or something. I don't know.
He's doing a beach wedding? Why is he on the beach in a suit?
I would wear a suit on the beach. Because I'm weird. All right, let's see. In Captain America 3 Civil War, do you think it was right for most of the Avengers to get locked up after what happened in Sokovia in Avengers Age of Ultron?
Man.
No, I don't think it was right. I think so many times the world was ungrateful.
It's about time somebody asked some really good questions.
This is a damn good question, Zog.
Yeah, man.
Dadgummit, man.
No,
Go ahead,
they shouldn't have been locked up. The ungrateful world. All the things they had done to save the world. And, of course, leave it to some bureaucrats at the UN to try to do a power grab to control the Avengers for themselves. Come on. Team Cap, by the way, all day.
All day long, bro.
Yeah.
All day. Team Cap.
Cap was right.
That's right. Tomorrow, my 4th of July shirt, Captain America. Captain America. The greatest Avenger. Now, in real life, he's a liberal. But in the movies, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, that was a great question, man.
It was.
Love that question. Let's see. I thought there was. Okay, so real quick, while we're talking about Avengers, I have a question for you, Kev.
Oh, okay.
What's your favorite of the MCU movies? What's your favorite one?
That's a hard question because you have greatest individual standalone movies, like this movie's really good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, from a movie experience or just an entertainment experience, period, Endgame will never be top for me.
Right. It was pretty incredible.
An emotional experience that was 10 years in the making. that had the emotional roller coaster ups and downs and every payoff of the fan of you're a fan of the series.
Yeah.
They brought it all home, dropped the mic, and everybody's like, "Bravo!"
All the way down to I'm Iron Man.
Yes,
All the way
took
down.
Took it back.
I mean,
to
dude.
2008.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
And
oh
so
my gosh.
that can't be topped. But at the same time, if I'm gonna go back today and rewatch one of them, that's usually not the one I lean towards.
Right. Yeah. Because it was that it was that huge buildup and I mean it's long as all get out too.
Yeah.
I still have only seen it. I've still only seen it one time in the theater. Clarissa and I went to see it in the theater. And it's just crazy how much of it I remember. You know, like so when I see clips, it's just it was such an impact that I still like it's still very much alive in my mind, which is crazy. But yeah, so I totally get that. It's hard for me to say I'm gonna sit down and watch Endgame. Like it's hard for me to just say I'm gonna sit down and watch Endgame. I'm not. Yeah.
It was just the greatest. And when I left out, because I went early premiere as soon as it comes out.
See, I didn't get to see that.
When I'm walking out and you got so it's already people lined up in the hallway waiting to come in the theater when you're coming out. That's how crazy it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I envy you.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're about to experience.
Yeah. Man, people are now posting. It's getting popular now to start. People are posting because I can't remember how many years it's been now. But they're posting footage of them seeing the final scenes of the movie in the theater.
Those
for the
were
first
coming
time.
out very soon after it happened. People were filming in the movie theater and catching the theater's reaction to those certain scenes in the movie.
Yeah,
and it was crazy.
And it's, I mean, like, and you remember how like all the like Kevin Feige and all the other folks were saying like, hey, like don't put spoilers out there. Like we've been building this for 10 years. Like don't ruin it for people. And people abided by it.
Yeah,
which was awesome.
Because coming out the theater, you can easily ruin it for people who are about to go in. And I was just looking at them like, and they just looked at our face and we were just like, I can't give it away to you, but
oh man, man, it makes me want to watch it again now. Now that you say it, makes me want to watch it again.
All right, we got to end this. We're going to go watch Endgame. I don't even have to see the chat. I know we've lost like half the people.
we only lost 4 of them.
I know we lost Claire.
Oh no.
We probably lost Future.
Because we over here talking about Avengers. Oh man. Okay, but for real though, for which if standalone, which Marvel movie?
Probably Winter Soldier.
My man. Same answer. Bro, I just watched that last week and I was watching it, I was like, still hits. That joint still hits. It does. When that scene, when he's in the elevator and the dudes are getting on and he notices he notices who's getting on the elevator, he notices the way that they're standing, what they holding on to, and the elevator door closes and he's like, hey, before we get started, does anybody want to get off? And you see the dude sweating. and when he's going out of SHIELD headquarters and they're playing the music and he takes down that Quinjet.
Yeah.
That music
with the
oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It just hits, man. Even the villain was awesome.
Yes.
Everything. It was just action from start to finish. It was really
amazing.
Good. Yeah,
it was amazing.
It's one of the movies you can just sit down right now, watch it, and you're entertained.
Yes. And still to this day, like I remember what it was like the first time you saw the Winter Soldier on screen.
Yeah.
And you were just like, oh snap, like Black Widow, get away from that dude. Like get away.
Yeah.
Like this dude's gonna snap you in half. Like it was, he had that presence. Like he really did come off as like, this is a dangerous man.
Yeah.
And when the mask came off and it was Bucky and you're like,
everybody's like,
what, dude? What? Like,
Yeah.
That was incredible. So they just had so
we
many
lost the rest
moments
of the
like
chat, man.
we lost.
We
They
lost.
gone. Oh, Future says she's still here. Then she's like, she got no idea.
Hello, Claire. Yeah, I said
it. Wait, she said, I'm here, but I disagree wholeheartedly on Endgame.
Oh,
Hey. Okay, so listen, Claire, I'm gonna give you this, okay? I was in the theater, and the moment in Endgame that annoyed the ever-living daylights out of me, you know what I'm getting ready to say.
I'm not sure.
It's the moment on the battlefield where somehow magically all of the women got together and saved
Oh, yeah, that was lame.
Peter. It was so lame.
It was so cheesy.
It was so forced, so lame. Everybody knew it.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it.
I was too happy to be upset about it at the moment, though. But later on,
I was like, that's super lame. When I saw it, I was like,
because you got to remember, man, you thought it was over. Cap picks up the hammer, and just the place goes crazy.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yes. Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
And then you think they're about to lose, and then the portals open up. Oh, yeah. Like, so you're on such a euphoric high at that point. When they do that lame thing, I give it to you.
Yeah, I was like, the rest of the movie is so good, I'm not going to decide that this sucks off of that. But that brought the mood down because it was so dumb, it's so forced. They got out of it fast enough.
Yeah.
They wanted to have their girl power moment.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, like, seriously. But it was good. But man, that's amazing. You said Winter Soldier, man. That's exactly. I was waiting. I was like, as soon as this is my turn, Winter Soldier.
Matt said normal Thor or fat
Thor. Man, listen, normal Thor all day long. Fat Thor, I'm just like, come on, man. Come on. Man.
Like, yeah, give me Thor from Infinity War.
Yeah.
Not Thor from Endgame.
like when he throws Stormbreaker and hits dude in the chest, and he's like, I told you, you would die for that.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thor from Ragnarok, when he gets the ability to like use his powers without the hammer, and punches Hela and all that lightning, he punches her and like basically a whole lightning bolt, hits her with a whole lightning bolt from his fist, and lands on the Rainbow Bridge and just starts throwing hands. That was amazing.
Ragnarok is great, but at the same time, that was still Thor being humorous and funny.
It was.
I like serious. I'm going to kill someone, Thor.
Yes.
In Infinity
That's
War.
the best Thor.
Yeah, that was the best.
It's the best Thor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Fat Thor bashing little kids
on video.
That was.
Oh my gosh. Neutral Coach said she said, hey, Neutral Coach, we appreciate you being here.
I knew it.
We're gonna lose.
We nerded out way too long on Marvel.
We did. Okay, so we feel you, Future. We feel you, Future. Yeah, Marvel's not your thing. It's okay. I still, I could go on a whole rant about Batman, but I'm not gonna do it.
Please don't.
When Endgame just erases the entire movie in the first 5 minutes. It's okay, Claire. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. We're not asking you to.
Claire, we're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to talk.
We're gonna have to put you on probation. I'm just kidding. All right. So, if y'all have, okay. Katie says that Matt has a WWE question. All right, let's hear it.
All right, this gotta be the last question.
And I'm with you, Future. I'm a huge
Christian Bale was
Dark Knight trilogy is goated. All right. So Matt, when you get your WWE question, we'll answer it. So Wayne Brady, man.
Oh, Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with Wayne Brady, man?
So a couple of years ago, he came out and said he was pansexual.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, come on, can we just stop making stuff up?
Right.
But yeah, it was an image of a picture of him with what's his name? Football player from Good Morning America.
Strahan.
Michael Strahan. Yeah. And and Wayne Brady's in full drag. Full drag.
Like, not like, hey, they talked me into it. Like
nah,
I'm living my best life.
Yeah, he's he's going on stage to perform afterwards. Like, yeah, it was pretty shocking to see him that way.
And I hadn't seen that. So when you posted that, I was like, wait, what? Like, is this real? I had to go immediately. I saw the post. I'm open up a browser. I'm like, Wayne Brady drag. And I was like, is this real? Is this AI? Like, what's going on? And then obviously it's real. Okay, so all the results coming out. Getting the summary that says, no, he says that he didn't just do drag, that he loves to do drag. He enjoys and loves to do drag. And then I saw some of the pictures of his performance.
Ooh, I didn't Google.
Yeah.
The one picture was enough for me, and I knew it was true because I've heard him talk about it before, and I think I've seen another picture of him before.
Oh man,
in drag. So I wasn't surprised to see it.
Yeah,
it was just like I miss Wayne Brady from the Chappelle Show.
That's what I was. That man, you finished the sentence for me. We have come a long way down from Wayne Brady on Chappelle Show, man. We have come a long way down, man.
Yes.
Ain't nobody scared of Wayne Brady.
No.
I mean,
because
Chappelle tried to help him out. I'm sorry, Wayne Brady. Can't be helped. Okay.
Oh, on the Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart or Vince McMahon. Are you asking like what side are we on that? I mean, I'm always going on Bret Hart. I mean, I'm not gonna be on McMahon's side.
Right? Yeah. Who's gonna be on Vince McMahon's side?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know enough about. I don't know what the Montreal Screwjob is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it for the audience just because we would lose the other half.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was. We know wrestling is real.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Something was supposed to go a certain way and it didn't.
Okay.
And Bret Hart got screwed over, and it was more of an executive decision from the top that he wasn't in on it.
Oh. Well, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I'm not giving it to Vince.
Yeah. But like I said, we know wrestling is real. So
that's right. Stone Cold or The Rock?
Stone Cold.
I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, I like The Rock, but Texas Rattlesnake, man.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I was The Rock. I was a fan of The Rock before he was a good guy. Back when he was still a villain, I was a fan of The Rock. But I mean, everybody loves Stone Cold. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah.
How can you not like Stone Cold? I mean, that dude was just. He was actually the people's champ.
He was.
Before The Rock was the people's champ. Like, you wanted Stone Cold to come out and give everybody the stunner.
Yeah.
You want everybody to get the stunner. Katie says The Rock is mad.
Oh, wow. Wow.
All right. So, best on the mic in wrestling.
I think that's The Rock.
That's The Rock.
I get that to The Rock.
That's The Rock. Yeah. Yeah.
But man, this has been good.
Yeah.
This has been good. We might have to do this again, like every so often.
Yeah.
Just do a Q&A. Let's just chop it up.
Yeah.
Maybe not go down the Marvel geek out.
Marvel rabbit hole.
Yeah. And the thing is, I knew it wasn't a good idea, but I just can't resist it. I can't. It's this one thing I geek out on. Like, it's Marvel. Like, I don't do Pokemon cards.
Nope.
I'm not a big video game guy. But Marvel got me. I got wrapped up in it.
I like superhero movies. I think about myself like the food critic from Ratatouille. I love superhero movies. If I don't love them, I don't watch them. And so I'm a harsh critic.
Hey, you can tell somebody got kids. A Ratatouille reference.
I'm also a Pixar fan because I'm an artist, and they are just they're
good.
They're amazing. But the those drinks. Leroy, what's up, man? Hey, listen. The drinks, man. The drinks, fantastic. Hat tip to Shalonda, man. Shalonda is amazing. Like I've said many, many times before, whatever Kevin's paying her, it's not enough.
And she agrees.
Man, y'all, seriously, this has been so much fun. Y'all are the best audience on these YouTube streets.
As ratchet as these YouTube streets are.
As ratchet as they are, man. Y'all are awesome. Yeah, that's right. Shalonda is the real MVP.
Yeah. Or what's the new term for ratchet?
Oh man, he gonna make me do it. Okay. Okay. The new term for ratchet is that's a little bit Crockett. It's Crockett out in these YouTube streets.
It is.
If you know, you know. You heard it here first. we gonna get SWAT teamed, man.
Yep. We're gonna get swatted.
Man. Oh man. Leroy gets it. Man, but seriously, we appreciate y'all. If you have more questions, maybe every now and again we'll do like a regular segment where we do this and we answer some questions. We may do some separate videos. Sometimes y'all send in questions, we can just choose to record some answers and put them out as videos too. Because this is a lot of fun, man. We love doing this. We love y'all. Any final words, my guy?
No, just enjoy the 4th. Shoot some fireworks. Grill. I grilled today. Smoked some pork butt on the grill all day. Matter of fact, it's still out there. So
as it should be.
Yeah. But yeah, and just enjoy the weekend. Have some fun. Sit by the pool. Yeah, and then enjoy the freedoms that we have, and remember, and don't take them for granted.
That's right. If you haven't, y'all make sure to go check out the merch store. Get your Informed Takes merch. We may have to start adding. I mean, I don't know. We may have to start adding some more people to the image to make it a little more inclusive.
Little Wayne Brady on there.
We don't have to put Wayne Brady in that. So man, y'all, thank you so much for being here. And as always,
stay informed,
folks. Appreciate y'all. This podcast was filmed at Podium Studios at Marietta Square. Grow your business with turnkey, professional quality podcasting, live streaming, and online events. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about anything. Just come in and record. Learn more at thepodium.studio. Step up to the podium.